All right, guys, so hopefully you've completed your value scale, and now we're gonna work on creating the final version of this, that next week we're gonna put the value scale and our crystals together to make them have that really cool 3-dimensional look to them. So blank piece of paper, it cannot be lined, it cannot have anything else on it. It needs to be completely blank piece of paper. And you are going to either have 1 crystal or you are going to have 2 crystals. So if you do 1, it's going to be almost big enough to fill up that whole page. If you do 2, it'll be 2 medium sizes, that one kind of takes up half the page and one takes up the other half. So you may choose if you want 1 or 2, but they are going to be big. So guys, you may want to get a ruler for this. So if I'm doing my 1 crystal, I'm going to go through, and I would recommend starting with pencil, and then if you want to trace it out in Sharpie, you can absolutely do that after, or in a marker afterward. Do not color these in today though, guys. So I'm going to come around. I'm going to start, like I said, my crystal on here. You may want to get a ruler because drawing these big is definitely harder than drawing them small like we did for practice last week. So like I said, I wanted to take up a lot of the space on here. It shouldn't just be itty bitty in there. It should take up most of your space. So whatever crystal you like best. Mine's a little crooked on here, guys. Not a big deal. We're gonna end up cutting these out. So don't worry about that too much on there. So I'm gonna go through, create it smaller inside. So got that there. And then connect my corners. Like I said, you can choose any of the crystals you practiced last week. If you need to, guys, you can get back into that Nearpod from last week if you need to look at any of the step-by-steps or the tutorials on how to draw these. That's still available. You can open that up to see all of that stuff from last week if you need to. So you guys kind of see how I keep turning it. I'm doing that because when you're drawing, if you're trying to connect two things that are really far apart, it's easier. If my hand's covering this up, I can't see where my line is going. So if I turn my paper, it makes it much easier to make sure my line is straight and connects, especially if I'm not using a ruler. All right. So that would be one giant or one big crystal, or like I said, you could do two kind of medium size, but either way, you want them to take up most of the space on the paper. You shouldn't have a lot of empty space left over. So after you've done your value scale, guys, go ahead, draw one big or two medium crystals on your paper. And then that's where we're going to stop for today. And next week, we will put together our value scale and our crystals. So please save these things. Do not get rid of them because you're going to get this paper out next week and your value scale out next week. And we're going to add color to our crystals using what we learned on our value scale. So make sure you save this, keep it somewhere safe. Please send me a picture of your completed assignment for today. So your value scale and whatever, go like this, snap a photo of them. It can be in one photo or two separate photos, and please get that turned into me before we start next week. All right, y'all have a great day.